Okay, cool. So check it out. I was laughing when you were talking because I'll never forget one time I was living in downtown LA in a place called the Brewery, and I remember like Amethyst Rock had come out, and this girl came up to me and she was just like, "Oh my God, last night I did DMT and I listened to your album and I understand now that's how you wrote it." And I was like, "No, it isn't." And then I remember years later actually trying DMT, and I was so psyched to try it, and then I tried it and I was like, "Oh man, I'm here every day." It's like, fuck, I was so looking forward to this. I should have went home, you know, like, oh, okay. Well, the person, not many people know this, that the people who produced the film Slam, one of the producers is a guy named Richard Stratton, who actually is the founder and editor of High Times magazine. And so, Slam was a huge initiation process for me because I was hanging out every day with Richard Stratton, who had served, who was sentenced to 17 years in prison for weed smuggling in the 70s, you know what I'm saying? Like crazy, like he was flying planes from Lebanon, like the whole other level, who started High Times magazine by bringing in Colombian weed, and America at the time is really familiar with Mexican weed. And so he was living in the DC metropolitan area, and so High Times magazine started by him purchasing billboards around DC that just said "Smoke Colombian," and he had pamphlets, and those were the first magazines, little pamphlets to tell people about the differences between weed, between like Colombian and the like dirt weed that they were used to. So that's how it started, okay? So anyway, through him, I got connected to people like Timothy Leary and what have you, and had an opportunity to essentially hear this. What was said to me was that asking Timothy Leary, "You have any regrets?" And he was like, "Yo, my only regret is this, is that, you know, I found a way to like share like psychedelics and what have you with people. I only wish that I had shared with them the fact that the people who I took it from would do it maybe 2 or 3 times in their life as rites of initiation. That it was never a party, that it was always crucial moments in their lives that they took notes from for the next number of years of their lives until the next rites of passage and initiation." So, luckily for me, I guess that was a nice introduction for me into the world of psychedelic experimentation and all that. And yeah, you know, like I've had the opportunity to try some interesting stuff. However, the most but the most interesting part essentially was always being like making sure that I actually found like through meditation, I found the psychedelic high before I ever used anything to help me get there. And so it was always cool, the experiment, but it always balanced against the experience, you know? And I think that's important too, you know, to just balance things out. But you know, I'm a fan of life. And I think that we should live it, you know, to the best of our abilities, you know, and I think that we should, you know, find ways of communicating with our innermost selves and with each other, truly, you know, so that's that. So my time is up, really. I want to thank you all